Complex issues, complex. It's complex. Don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about something else. Let's make something up that's brand new, that's never been heard before. I can't do that. I'm not that creative. I just sit around and eat bonbons all day and make whatever kind of preparations are necessary to, be ready for the big broadcast. It's Tuesday. The day that time forgot. That's right. We're here in this free hour, this free space. It's extra. There's 25 hours in Tuesday. No, just kidding. Sorry. No, it's all the same. It's the same. Chicken noodle soup. Yay, Mark. Scott and Rhonda are here. Yay, Bill Williams here. Who else did I see? I saw Rochelle. I saw Monica. Saw Holly Tuttle. Hope you got power. Hope the Vashon contingent is powered up and ready to budgie Cindy Snyder in the house. These are bits of good news. The rest of it, well, perhaps we'll discuss at some point. If things sound a little different tonight, it's because, hey, I'm mellow. I'm morphing. I'm in mid-mutation, as they say. Maybe they don't say. I'm not sure. Do they say that? Who are they, even? I don't know these people, you know?
The sanctuary, polishing brass. Jesus at the window, he's captured in glass. Lacing up my sneakers, packing up my things. Gotta hit the road before the doorbell rings. God loves civil disobedience. God lends a helping hand. He's there in my ear when the time comes to take a stand. He says, "Oi, but the crazy land you got in." Well, I tried to write my senator, tried to write the press, but no one seems to listen until you make a mess. I contemplated terrorism, threw that away. I don't want to hurt nobody now, I just want my say. God loves civil disobedience. God had some trouble too. He's there in my ear when I can't think of nothing to do. He said, "Boy, got a job for you." It's a burning bush, it's a burning tree. Ralph's standing there and he's looking at me. He says, "I'll write it down if you'll take it to town. We got a mission. We got the mission." Yeah, well, I never burned a building, I don't sink ships. I got a can of spray paint and a good set of lips. I shout from the rooftops, paint on them too, so when the bombers fly over, they know who to screw. God loves civil disobedience. God lends a helping hand. He's there in my ear when the time comes to take a stand. He said, "Oi, about that crazy land you got here. You call it America? Hey!" God loves civil disobedience. God had some trouble too. He's there in my ear when I can't think of nothing to do. He said, "Boy, I got a job for you. And you, and you, and you." God loves civil disobedience. God loves civil disobedience. God loves civil disobedience. Say, "Oh, God loves civil disobedience." Say, "Oh, God." Oh, God. Say, "Oh." Well. Or words to that effect. Good evening. Welcome once again to the fabulous, the palatial, and the ever-funky treehouse. This is where things tend to pile up. Things tend to pile up pretty much everywhere. One of the first things I want to do is I want to take a picture of you guys. You know, I always like to have a picture. I know I've taken pictures of audiences before, but none of them have ever quite looked like this. So I just wanted to make sure that this was captured for posterior. You know what I'm saying? I think you do.
think you know what I'm trying to say. We got to get all the cups in. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. Looks just like you. Okay. Alrighty. Hope everybody's doing good. I am. Do people want to have the parts inventory? Are they interested in the workings, the inner workings of the new hand? Well, we're still in pain land with the hand. The rest of the arm, the pain has gone way down. Probably at about a 5 or 5.5 right now, instead of an 8.5 where it was. But when I play, it still hurts in my hand. So that's a new sensation. That's something to be gotten used to. Plus, it still doesn't feel like my hand. It's like someone else is doing this work down here. And the thing is, you know, I'm developing a relationship with this new hand, but this hand, I'm not sure how these guys are really perfectly coordinating yet. I'm not sure that because, you know, the guy that used to be over here, you know, he'd been around for quite a while. So we got to see if we can get the team, you know, working. The team's got to be working. Got to have a team, right? Right. Hello to Kim and Pete. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The inventory of the cups. This has become one of my rituals. Have you noticed that? Perhaps you have. Thanks, Mom. Tamitra, I think we're here first today. I don't know. It was either Tamitra or Bill Willow. They were racing. So that was thank you to Tim and Demetra. This is thank you to Rick Lewis and all my brethren and sisterin in the Methow Valley. Oh. Yeah. I sense an ethereal presence. Some sort of a specter has entered the space and help me. Oh, it's the hand. Yes, lovely. Thank you, hand.
Rich Lewis.
Yeah?
From Methow Valley, they had their first snow today.
Yeah, I saw that, Rick. What's the deal? I saw it on your page. I saw it on Nadine's page. 75 degrees a couple of days ago, and today you got snow. October 13th. That's a little early, if I recall. Yeah. Kathy Brewer's here. Monica Halverstadt. Deb and Rich Hedin. Deb, I know I owe you an email. I've got like 7 drafts of emails that I've started to people in my email thing, and I'm just not there yet. Alyce is here? Really? Alyce? Really? Aren't you supposed to be somewhere else doing something else? Lori Trout is here. Hello, Lori. I owe you a phone call. Yeah. I know that. I'm sorry, Scott and Rhonda, Tim Swagger, and Demetra. Thanks, you guys. You're the diehards, you know. You're the diehards. What can I say? A song about denial.
I think you mean that you need security. I think you mean that you can't decide. I think you mean that you might be stopping here. I think you wonder how much of it lies. And while you're standing by, I know between your tongue and your eyes, oh, you don't want to go. I think you mean you can't cut the company. I think you mean you can't cut the cane. I think you mean you can't make the rendezvous. I think you mean you're erasing my name. And while you're standing by, I know between your tongue and your eyes, oh, you don't don't wanna go. You don't wanna go. No, babe, I didn't take your money to fly out of this padded daylight. I got enough here to last till Christmas. It's for the two of us, for the two of us. I thought you meant your options were unlimited. I thought you meant your mirror wouldn't shatter. Who would have thought you'd turn up spouting rhetoric? Who would have thought that it mattered? And while I'm standing by, you know, in the back of my mind, oh, I don't wanna go. I don't wanna go. I don't wanna go.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey.
Yeah. So it's a loner hand. That's what it feels like. None of the parts about playing guitar feel the same over here. What's that mean? Well, not that much. But I have to think a lot harder. And it's like it hurts the longer I play the song. By the end of the song, it's like, you know. So, only listen to the beginnings of the songs, right? That's just for tonight. It's, you know, next week it'll be a different phenomenon. It's quite the circus. Quite the circus. Start that again, okay? Sometimes the hand just kind of gets a little lost. He says, "Oh, we're playing this. I thought we were playing that. I thought we were going to do, you know." Yeah, that's what happens. Excuse me. Yeah, I like a little bit more of the guitar, if that's okay. Yeah, okay. I don't think you'd mind if I cut this much of my head off, right? If I was just like this, you could see the guitar really good, you know. Excuse me.
Thin gray mist that curtain the sun is falling. Paper thin voice at the edge of sleep is calling. Holes in the path of this perfect world in front of us. On Alyce's birthday. Two blue gems in a lake of cream look up at me. Rain-wet street 4 floors below looks lonely. In the rush last night the midwife whispered family. On Alyce's birthday. Never so small and human as I feel today. Your selfless pain beautiful gift I couldn't take away. Strange are the colors when your dreams come true in front of you. On Alyce's birthday, on Alyce's birthday, You know, how come I can play that one, but there's a bunch of other songs I can't really play right now? That's the weird part of this, you know, because like every day this week I've tried to play Life is a Long Song, and I have not been able to do it. So that's a problem. And I have, you know, I'm miles away from the Man in the Dead Machine and Old Dragons passing over the old songs I was working on. But still at it. We'll see. We'll see the kind of improvement. I wanted to do Life is a Long Song. I wanted to make a video of me doing that song because my buddy Rob Neisler was asking people, you know, to post a performance of their favorite cover tune. And I guess if I had to pick one, that would probably be it. Although there's a couple other strong contenders. And I don't do that many cover tunes. So I thought, I'll just do a video. You know, on Sunday, I was about to go on with the Westminster Basement Study Group, some of whom may be here tonight. I don't know, Bill's here. And I was gonna do that. I was about to go on with that. It was like 1:45. The thing started at 2 as a Zoom meeting. And I thought, well, I could just dash this off real quick, you know, in the interim. And, but it did, you know, yeah. It ended up being a study in tragedy. It was tragic. It's tragic. Wait. Me first. Sorry, I looked at the note. I should have taken care of business before I looked at the cat is here. Sorry, cat. Same outfit. It's my comfort shirt. I'm only going to wear this until the election. By then it'll probably be more air than fabric. I think it's close to that now. There's some areas down here that are off camera that are best left that way. Let's just say that. Plus, I'm not wearing pants. Did I mention that? John Bundy from Denver. Wow, hi, John Bundy. Good to see you here. And Lynette and Larry are here. Man, oh man, this is some kind of wonderful. And I just played Alice's birthday and got away with it. That one snuck in. I mean, there was a couple of clunky parts. It's like you know, your brain knows where the hand is supposed to go, but the hand is like, really? That doesn't make sense. I think I'll just stop here. I'm going to stop here and catch my breath, and then I'll move on to the fret you're actually looking for. Oh, it doesn't work like that? Sorry. I wish that Langley Davis were here from up there in Alaska. Langley, you're not out there by chance, are you? Because I know you wanted to hear Sky in Tacoma, and I want to play it for you. Maybe I'll do this. I'll do one more first, just in case Langley shows up late. If anybody spots Langley, tell her not to leave until after I sing for her, okay? Langley was one of my poetry students. sister with a smile so wide. Little joy eyes, little hazel pockets, little mister just the right size. Little boy, love to see you in the kitchen. You're running round in circles like a lost cartoon, talking to yourself and talking to your sister about the Lone Ranger in the moon. Can I have a sucker? Can I have a sandwich? Peanut butter mustard is my favorite kind. I can cut the bread and I can put the stuff on it, and I can take it all outside. Little boy, love to see you in the front yard, running around in circles like a wild baboon, talking to the trees and talking to the bushes about the Lone Ranger in the moon. Little Mr. Man, Mr. Personality, little Mr. Underwear outside your pants. When you grow up, you'll be a superhero, 'cause only superheroes get to dance. Little boy, love, I see you in your bedroom, loving up a teddy bear until she swoons. Then you lie back and start to tell a story about the Lone Ranger in the moon. Daddy's far away now, but he'll be home soon. Daddy's down in Texas, but he's thinking of you. Little boy, love, I see you in the kitchen. You're running around in circles like a lost cartoon. Let me tell you this, when I was down in Texas, I saw the Lone Ranger in the moon. Little boy, love, I see you in my good dream, running around the circle like a favorite tune. Maybe next summer we'll both go down to Texas and meet the Lone Ranger in the moon. Maybe next summer we'll both go down to Texas and meet the Lone Ranger in the moon.
There you go, from the water dance. Lone Ranger in the Moon. Also on Raise Your Heart. Yeah. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. That's right, everybody. Mystery beverage. Did I hear what Bill was drinking? I believe he mentioned it at the top of the show. But things have scrolled beyond it now. Claire Schweiger, hi. Welcome, Claire. Take care of that beautiful little baby of yours. I know you are. I'm not worried or nothing. I'd hate to get your parents nervous, you know. Okay. What was I going to do? Maybe I will, what can I do? I'll just, I can avoid that. Maybe I'll end up not doing this guy in Tacoma. Darn it. I should have contacted Langley during the week to see if she could come. Yeah, I'm just not, I haven't caught up on my correspondence. Yeah. But you know what? It's great to have correspondence to catch up on. I really like that. It's one of my best things. Yeah. Let's just think about that for a minute. Okay. Alrighty.
Swallow another pill, you go. With a kick drum inside your head, you go. When the only safe people are dead, you go. Insanity's a weapon for the modern urban night. Check the dude with the paper shoes. If he don't look at you right, then you better go. You better go, go. You better go. With your drive-through mentality, you go. When image is your specialty, you go. When you work through the setting sun, you go. When you just can't smile at another one, you go. Yes, you go, go. Insanity's a weapon for the modern urban night. If you can't find a face that fits, then you better stay out of sight or just go. You can always go. you don't know who's selling drug, you go. When you're tapped by the empty eyes, you go. But when all you got to give is lies, you go, 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 go. Insanity's a weapon for the modern urban night. They're lining up just to knock you down. If you can't put up a fight, then you better go. You better go. You better go, 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 go. You better go, 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 go. Insanity's a weapon for the modern urban night. If you can't find a face that fits, then you better stay out of sight. Or just go. You better go, hey, fool. You better go, go. You better you better go, hey, fool. You better kick a thong, thong. You better dang, dang, dang. You better talk to him. The guy in the part of it. Okay, that was probably too much fun. I probably I could have blown a gasket on that one. But it's kind of a fun song. I like the bouncy stuff. The bouncy stuff seems to work right now. See, what I've been playing this week, you got to go with what works in the moment. You got to go with what you got, with the thing, the part that's got the, you know. And sometimes it's the stuff with all the papa. But other times it can be other stuff. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule. Okay. Did we skip over some important topics to get to this one? I always sense that. But that's not, yeah. I see the cloud of a turbulent day. I see a dark figure turning away. I see the water that yields to a stone. I see with eyes that have seen to your bones. And I see the ashes that fall to a tray. I watch the hairs that have fallen to gray. I hold the image of art in my mind. I see the years that have fallen behind. Maybe it's over. Maybe it's all been the meat of a dream. Maybe it's over. Maybe my hands cannot claim what I've seen. I see a red door that beckons me in. I see a tablet that calls me to win. I see the keys where I've walked into rhyme. I see a spark, but only part of the time. And I see a bridge between islands of sky. I see a woman who asks me to try. I watch the winter that's grown on my skin. I see the light going yellow and thin, and thin, and maybe it's over. Maybe it's all been the meat of a dream. Maybe it's over. Maybe my hands cannot claim what I've seen. I feel a power that's lofty and whole. I watch as uncertainty clings to my soul. Maybe I'll see all my images through. Maybe I'll come again broken to you. Maybe it's over. Maybe it's all been the meat of a dream. Maybe it's over. Maybe my hands cannot claim what I've seen. Maybe it's over. Maybe it's all been the meat of a dream. Maybe it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to play that because Kat was in the house. Way back on Phobia Ropes, Kat did some amazing harmony on that. She did it again on Raise Your Heart, too. Kat and John, I'm glad you're here. In case you didn't know, 2 weeks from tonight, special edition of the Treehouse concert. It's going to be myself and Kat Eggleston doing the two-headed Zoom call for your edification and enjoyment and hopefully your entertainment. And it's all because it's the day after the Hand's birthday. Yeah. Speaking of the star of the time, wow, that's a lot of notes. Gee. You do smell particularly good tonight. I just wanted to make sure you knew that. John Daly is here. Yeah, well, I assumed that. And Briga, the poodle, who stopped barking at the wind when you started playing. Happy to be of service. See, I do all kinds of household chores on Tuesday nights as well. You know, I can just, come right into the, I could just come. You want to clean that up for you? I can get that. I spilled it. I should clean it up. Claire Swagger. You serenade the baby to sleep every Tuesday. Well, that's good news. Holly said all 4 cats are watching. All 4 cats. See, we know Ragnar. Little Red. Bill Kaufman is here. Good evening, sir. Val Sanford is here. Excellent. Excellent to have some Westminster basementeers in the house. Let's see, should I do one more and then do some poems? That got me into trouble last week. Yeah, I ended up with not enough time at the end of the poetry. I'm trying to kind of, not get too, crazy with the whole poetry thing. But, poetry has kind of been a big part of my life. For most of my life. Hello? Anybody? Hello. So we've got an interesting assortment for you tonight. Interesting assortment. Just a few of mine, which is probably going to make everything else more interesting. But I wrote this first one. It's called Never Stop Growing. I wrote it in response to a poem by John Ashbery. And so I decided, well, maybe what I should do is I should read the John Ashbery poem first and then read my... Not that my poem has any real reference to it other than to name it. It's just a name check. I'm name dropping, trying to look cool in the poem, You know how you do in a poem. You try to look cool. But it's from the John Ashbery's book, Planisphere, is what it's called, which came out, I think, in 2009, so it's one of his later books. Yeah, 2009. That's the very first poem in the book. I mean, I hadn't read this book. I opened the first poem, and I'm like, it was like a wind. Okay, I got to take a break from this now. I got to take some time to absorb. John Ashbery's kind of like that. He doesn't make it easy always. But what you have to understand is he's got a very good sense of humor, a very quick wit, and he's just kind of riffing. Yeah, he's a riffer. Wish I was more of a riffer, but what are you going to do? Alcove, it's called. Is it possible that spring could be once more approaching? We forget each time what a mindless business it is, porous like sleep, adrift on the horizon, refusing to take sides, mugwump of the final hour, lest an agenda, horrors, be imputed to it, and the whole point of its being spring collapse like a hole dug in sand. It's breathy, though. You have to say that for it. And should further seasons coagulate into years like spilled, dried paint, why, who's to say we weren't provident? We indeed looked out for others as though they mattered, and they, catching the spirit, came home with us, spent the night in an alcove from which their breathing could be heard clearly. But it's not over yet. Terrible incidents happen daily. That's how we get around obstacles. Did you see where he took us in there? Did you even notice? He's like a fish, man. He's like, you know. I'm going to read it one more time, okay? I just love relishing this kind of really good stuff. Alcove. Is it possible that spring could be once more approaching? We forget each time what a mindless business it is, porous like sleep, adrift on the horizon, refusing to take sides, mugwump of the final hour, lest an agenda, horrors, be imputed to it, and the whole point of its being spring collapse like a hole dug in sand. It's breathy, though. You have to say that for it. And should further seasons coagulate into years like spilled, dried paint, why, who's to say we weren't provident? We indeed looked out for others as though they mattered, and they, catching the spirit, came home with us, spent the night in an alcove from which their breathing could be heard clearly. But it's not over yet. Terrible incidents happen daily. That's how we get around obstacles. Okay, now here's the Kmart version. Yeah, the knockoff. No, it's nothing. It's not about the poem. It just mentions. It just name checks it. Just a name checker. Okay, it's about something else. Totally. It's about the inside of my head, like all of them. Yeah. There ought to be a medication. It's called Never Stop Growing. See, I posted the Ashbury poem on my Facebook page. You know, I was more name dropping. You know, yeah, I know it's John Ashbury poem. It's really good, and it struck a lot of people. I had a lot of good response to it, so I was feeling kind of artsy fartsy, as they say, somewhere. Never Stop Growing, it's called. Ashbury's alcove one him likes, but will it loosen his pen? Never was a day more wealthy with sleep. Almost called mother to brag, but thought better of it after looking in the mirror. A self-portrait of distortions, and none too decorous. Lines like splayed fans or fish fins. The nose, the ears, never stopped growing. Small gardens of fluff passed over by stingy spectacles. He won't feel immortal again. His works, like layers of sediment, have never left this room. I always like one of those poems I wrote when I was really feeling good about myself, because that happens so frequently. Here's an old poem. I've wondered whether to read this or not, but this is one of the number of poems I wrote for my son. This one's from 2011. It's called Absence. The goddamned pages flutter with wind, will not lie down to be written in. A hungry moon, a waiting grave, a room that could contain it all. If I am wrong, if I have strayed away from sanity, please notify authorities before I hold children's safety in my hands again. I will bless you to eternity if I get there. These are the wheels, these the days of waiting. A committed father will do no less than to open a vein in reply to the cry of the lonely child. And a father must first blame himself, for he has lived in, slept with, dreamed out of his own absence longer than anyone else could, simply to prove his love,
again and again to the lost. A couple of new ones now to finish off with. Maybe they're cheerier. We'll find out. So this first one I wrote, I participated in the Black Dog open mic last Wednesday, which is a great open online, virtual open mic that they're doing where each player just jumps onto Facebook Live when it's their turn and does their set and then, backs out and the next player plays. So you just scroll down the page to watch the people. And I've done it a couple of times before, but I can't use this program that I'm using to reach you now is called Ecamm. And I pay $15 a month for it. And it's kind of the bridge between my house and Facebook. It takes care of all the Facebook parts. And for some reason, the sound quality is better, especially of my guitar. I had to go direct to Facebook Live on Wednesday night for the open mic because this product does not access like another person's, like a group page or something like that. Do we need this kind of explanation? But anyway. I couldn't get the guitar to sound good. I worked on it for a couple of hours and finally had to give up. So that was just there, and you combine that with the hand thing. Yeah. So I wrote this. This is it's called Analysis. What went wrong last night at the open mic? What got to you? Let's analyze that. You've always dreamed of having an office with a whole wall of bookshelves. Imagine that wall filled with skinny volumes of poetry, the rags and pearls of 5,000 minds. You let yours get distracted by the annoyance of the guitar sound. You knew it sounded like shit, and you let it get to you. The office would be scented with the dusty musk of books. That's the kind of character you'd like to become, the kind who feeds his mind on clouds instead of stones. Trying to do a nice, a little turn there at the end. I'm not sure how well it works though. Tell me, will you? You guys? Okay, let's workshop it. Everybody need a copy? There you go. Sorry. And finally, I'll end with the other book. This one I posted on the page this last week. It's actually about this book right here. What that's called. My shadow is how I refer to my MS. So, the other book. Open up the other book, the one where you write in prose about the passing days and symptoms that ride along trying to trip you on the stairs. You resist using the handrails as a thumbing of the nose to those evil hitchhikers who threaten your grip and confuse your withered hands. Stay out of my legs, you rat bastards. The other book is full of sadness, not enough defiance. Write more of that. Tell it about the friends who gather to wish you well. Their strength like a flight of stars, burning through clouds in the dark to light your steps and turn your weathered hands into wings of pleasure and purpose. Pleasure and purpose. That one's for you guys. Seriously, that's for you guys. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're touring around a little tonight. Galway Canal. I love Galway Canal. I've loved Galway Canal for many years. I just want to read one. This is the poem he wrote when Jane Kenyon died. Jane Kenyon was a poet who was married to Donald Hall, who's a poet, and they were good friends. Many years. Well, Donald Hall and Galway Canal knew each other from college years. And Jane Kenyon died. She was under 50. She was, I think, 48. Died after a long battle with leukemia. She was an amazing poet. We should read her some night, huh? This is a poem by Galway Canal called How Could She Not? Now, Galway Canal, if you watch him, there's a lot of YouTube of Galway Canal reading. He's got a very precise diction. He likes to make sure that each word is heard in its fullness so that you can taste
And he also puts his voice into the front of his mouth, kind of like this, so that you can always get that thing. That's an old radio trick, too. If you were doing newscasts and you felt tired, one of the things you could think about was putting your voice in the front of your mouth, in front of your teeth, in fact. How could she not, in memory of Jane Kenyon, 1947 to 1995? The air glitters, overfull clouds slide across the sky. A short shower, its parallel diagonals visible against the firs, douses and then refreshes the crocuses. We knew it might happen one day this week. Out the open door, east of us, stand the mountains of New Hampshire. There, too, the sun is bright, and heaped cumuli make their shadowy ways along the horizon. When we learn that she died this morning, we wish we could think, how could it not have been today? In another room, Kiri Tekanawa is singing Mozart's Laudate Dominum from far in the past, her voice barely there over the swishing of scythes and the rattling of horse-pulled mowing machines dragging their cutter bars, little reciprocating triangles through the timothy. This morning did she wake in the dark, almost used up by her year of pain? By first light did she glimpse the world as she had loved it, and see that if she died now, she would be leaving him in a day like paradise? Near sunrise did her hold loosen a little? Having these last days spoken her whole heart to him, who spoke his whole heart to her, might she not have felt that in the silence to come he would not feel any word was missing? When her room filled with daylight, how could she not have slipped under a spell, with him next to her, his arms around her, as they had been, it may then have seemed, all her life? How could she not press her cheek to his cheek, which presses itself to hers from now on? How could she not rise and go, with sunlight at the window and the drone fading, deepening, hard to say, of a single-engine plane in the distance, coming for her, that no one else hears? It's a nice poem to a friend. How could she not? It's from the volume Strong as Your Hold, from Galway Canal. Okay. All right. Where are we at? Yep, time to stop. Boy, the poetry just makes the evening just fly by. But you know, I've decided to be okay with going long, if you're okay with it. I mean, the 8 o'clock thing, it's kind of arbitrary. I mean, it's fluid. It's fluxy, you know? Yeah. And I think we should allow it to be fluxy. Fluxy. Look it up. So with your permission, I may go long tonight. Did Langley show up by chance? No. Oh, yeah. You know, if I didn't like doing this so much, I probably would do a lot less of it. And I still feel fairly confident that I will work my way into this new piece of equipment I've got here. If the odd sensations don't go away, well, I'll just get used to them. They'll become the new normal, and then onward we will go. Okay. One in a series of self-conscious boys, schooled on the island of misfit toys. You'll find in my pockets the tricks I employ for the only magic I know. My
Dad had a few moves and taught them to me. He'd let me sit in and sing harmony. I'd follow his fingers wherever they'd lead, into the only magic I know. None of my teachers were ever aware of amazed concentration and wide open stare. They took me spelunking as if on a dare, into the only magic I know. It can get dark in here on the way to the light, and it's sparse in here when there's nothing to write. And if you park in here, then there's no end in sight. I know. It can get dark in here on the way to the light, and it's sparse in here when there's nothing to write. And if you park in here, then there's no end in sight. I know. So am I still standing out here on these boards, scratching these vocals and strumming these chords. There's a girl in the front row who never looks bored by the only magic I know, by the only magic I know, by the only magic I know.
Yippa. Yippa dippa. Uppy poopy. Yippa snickin'. Yeah. I don't know. What's he talking about? What's he talking? Does anybody know what he's talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Joseph Webb. Hi. Kelly Murphy. Kelly Murphy. Everybody see the new Little Murph drawing from this week? Guy's got talent coming out of his earballs. Don't tell him I said that, though. Yeah, okay. Where was I? Oh, let's... This one has been... This one's been kind of hit and miss. But we'll give it a shot. What do you say? Are you with me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Before I looked it in the eye, before the numbers got so high, before I found a better place, before the map became my face, because I can't be who I've been, because of the muses on the wind, because of books I cannot shut, because the road becomes the rut, Now there's trees to try and keep. Now there's kids who need our sleep. Now the acres are untamed. Now so much remains unchanged. Before I looked it in the eye, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yip-a-dip-a. Wing-a-ding-it. Wingus dingus. And assorted chocolates. Sorry. Lost my mind there for a moment. Oh, I'm back now. You know, I kind of feel like playing it. Wish Langley was here. Chrissy Chesmore. Good to see you, ma'am. Ah, what the heck. Sitting on a bench in the Greyhound station, his bag between his legs like a sheltered mathematician. Off to San Francisco for some cultural enrichment and the sky in Tacoma. I guess I'm not able to play it unless Langley's here. So, see, that's what happens once in a while. Like earlier today, I was totally rocking that song. Yeah, but I could just tell, I could just feel it in my buns. I could feel it in my buns. That it wasn't going to work at this point in the evening. Well, maybe I'll finish on time after all. Let's see here. Oh boy. Well, there you go. There's another one down. It's one of the things that happens is that it's clear fairly early on. That's how it's been with Life is a Long Song. But Life is a Long Song should come back because these other ones I was playing earlier. Without the stabs and jabs. Stabs and jabs. Diane's familiar with the stabs and jabs term. It's in the dictionary. Look it up. Stabs and jabs. Yeah. It's under Bill words. Okay. Under the glittering pins of the night sky, walking alone on a path we have memorized. They say getting older is not for the meek, we can testify. Fooled into thinking our demons would retreat, they're still standing by. Whatever's left of my time I will give to you. Promises made in the past never rang so true. And maybe our way will be testing and cold, maybe heavenly. One of us left with just memories to hold. Will you hold me? You will hold me. Under the visiting shade of the rising moon, breeze and a wind chime singing a sad tune. Silvery cloud like a glimpse of your hair. This is lyrical. Strands of our love spreading out on the night air like a miracle. Like a miracle. Under the glittering pins of the night sky.
Didn't quite stick the landing on that one. Oh well. Anyway, I think that will probably be all for this evening. I'm not quitting early, am I? I would hate to do that. That would be like cheating. Oh, good. Oh, good. So, yeah. Still working on it, playing every day. I can't think of anything else to do. You know. It's a loner, you know. That's the thing. It's the temporary. Got to go back and take delivery on the... See, you know. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming once again. Tuesday nights are keeping me going. I hope they are helping in some way in your life too. Hi, Diane Hatfield. Steve Norris. Double salute to you, my friend. Rick Lewis. Again, sir. And ongoing. Kathy and Loris. Chrissy Chesmore. Good to see you. You should hang out more. We miss you in the Westminster basement. Have a great week. Keep up the good wishes, the good thoughts, and, let's get along. That's all we got left. See ya.